Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Sussex Farms. We are here today to do a quick little, well, I guess you call it tutorial. Semi-quick, I should say. Every time I say quick, it ends up being an hour long. So, here on Sussex Farms, you have your seed and fertilizer fill points. Now these are also like silos. These hold 80,000 liters of seed, fertilizer, lime, liquid fertilizer, and your herbicide. Yeah, it's one of those days already. This right here is tied into Plumpton and Abbott's. So when you fill up your seed and fertilizer at these points, it can be used at any one of the three. So just be aware of that. As I said, please excuse the loud humming noise that just probably started in the background that you might be able to hear. That is my heater that just kicked in. It has the unfortunate time of kicking in when I don't want it to. So I'm going to show you how this all works. Some people have been having issues. Now this is located, I've actually removed all the hedges. So there's normally a hedge that runs across here, and there is a hedge that runs right along the inside of this wall. This is the secondary driveway for the farm. There's the house, okay? There's the Sussex Farm sign over there. But here is your seed and fertilizer. And I've set up a couple things to show you guys how this all works. And we'll go through a couple of these. So, first things first, let's grab the red man truck here. Okay. Fire this up. Now we have 18,000 liters of seeds. So we're going to pull up into this first hash mark area. Now the interesting part is, and I'm not sure why, the unload does not show up, but if you press on console now, you press your R1 and press triangle for start overloading. You can fill this silo system, storage system, however you want to look at it, with seeds. Now we're going to back up here because I do have the edge by anything mod here. So we'll back this in here. And let's load up with fertilizer. Okay, solid fertilizer. Now this is going to be the exact same thing as with the seeds. Need to pull up far enough that the back end of this is roughly about center, just be on the safe side. And same thing, R1, triangle, and start overloading. Now for you guys on Xbox, it will be the right bumper and Y for you to do this. But there you go. So now we've got seed and solid fertilizer in here. I'm just going to pull this up over here, kind of out of the way a little bit. And we'll shut that off. Now I got another truck over here. And this one here is a liquid tanker. We've got 25,000 liters of liquid fertilizer in here. So let's start this up. We'll swing this around here. And interesting enough, once this one gets into place, you will get the R1 and triangle, or on Xbox you will get the RB and Y to start unloading. And there you go. So, now while that's running, because that's going to take a few minutes, because there's 25,000 liters there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the 515C here. We'll fire this up. And we're going to back in here with the seeder. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of turn this to show you guys. Okay. Now, we got the seeder inside the zone, but you see nothing is showing up. Well, that's because you need to do, excuse me, your L1 and open cover. Now you'll see it says start filling. Press L3. So we press L3. We have seeds. We fill it up. Wait for it to completely fill. Close your cover. And you can drive away. And go seed your fields. Now when you're done seeding, if you have seeds left over and you don't want to leave them in your seeder, the nice thing about this is if you know which side your seeder unloads the pallets from. I'll try this without hitting the sprayer here. You can actually pull up next to this as long as you're the right distance away. Hold your right button, or R1, press your triangle, or Y, it says unload. It'll unload the pallet. And if you watch a second, boom, pallet disappears. That has automatically taken what was in that pallet and put it back into the storage. So yes, you can use pallets. You can bring them into that spot and load up your storage that way. Now, let's check this. This should be done by now. Yes, it is. So we're just going to pull this up over here on this side, kind of out of the way. Shut that off. I don't need that noise in the background. We got enough noises in the background. And now we're going to drop in to the 510 here. And similarly, this one here, I don't have the pellets. I have the modded one, as you can see by the coloring. We'll set this here. Open cover. Start filling. Oops. And you notice right away, we also get the unload. Now with the modded one, you can easily unload into storage areas. As long as there's an unload trigger, you can unload. But that's all filled up. Now you can close your cover, drive away, and go fertilize or take care of those pesky weeds in your fields. When you're done, if you want to unload this, which with these most likely you do, because if you have weeds running, you're going to want to load with herbicide at some point possibly. So same thing, R1 and triangle, or right button and Y, and unload. And all of that liquid fertilizer will go back into your storage. And this is the same thing with lime and the herbicide. I haven't loaded anything up with that yet. But that is the basics for your seed, fertilizer, lime, herbicide, and liquid manure. All can be stored in here and can all be taken from here. Just got to make sure that you're in the right spot for unloading, and you got to make sure that you're in the right spot for, you know, well, everything for loading and unloading. And you got to make sure when you're loading, you got to make sure your covers are open. Otherwise, you won't be able to fill them up. And also, you have to make sure the implement is selected. If you have, say you've got, I don't know, a weight on the front of this. You know, you hooked up to this, you turned around and decided you want to put a weight on the front, you stuck a weight on the front, and then you go to fill up and you can't get the trigger and you can't fill this up. Well, you need to change your selection from the weight in the front to the sprayer in the back. Or, in the case of this, switch it to the seeder. Then open up the cover and then it will load, as long as you're in the proper trigger. This side here is your seeds. See all your seed bags? These are your seeds. Over here is your liquid fertilizer, your herbicide, and your lime, and your solid fertilizer. Those are all in this one. Okay? So as I said, just be careful, pay attention, try to pay attention to what you have selected. Take it slow, don't try to rush it. Make sure your cover is fully open, you know, before you try to start filling. And when you're done, before you start driving off, you know, make sure the cover is closed. That way, you know, you make sure that everything, the triggers and that don't register anything, and then you can just drive away. But so there you have it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to use the seed and fertilizer here at the main farm. And as I said, this works also for Plumpton and Abbott's, but the seed and fertilizer points are all connected. They're basically one silo, so they all read off of the same 80,000 liters. So if you have 80,000 liters here and you pull out 20,000 over at Plumpton and then go down to Abbott's and wonder why you only have 60,000 liters, well, that's because 20,000 was already pulled out of the system. Okay? So just keep that in mind also. But until next time, guys, this is Farmer Modhub. Be good to each other, and blessed be everyone.